any conversations outside, please?
Yeah, everyone who's talking in here, please go outside and have your conversations out there. I happen to know Naseem is a very powerful organizer and she has a lot to share with you, and if you don't listen to her, you're missing out.
Mic drop. Again, I'm Naseem in Santa Clara County. I just wanted to tell you about 4 different areas that we're concentrating on. As some of you know, a few of us are new Greens, so we have not been necessarily flooding our city councils in the many years past, and that's something we're taking up. So one example was we started creating coalition with Mothers Out Front, with the Climate Action Coalition in our local area, with 350 Silicon Valley, and we kept going to our San Jose City Council and speaking on behalf of Community Choice Energy. San Jose, the 10th largest city in the country, had not had this presented, and they weren't in favor of it for many years. It's been under consideration for 6 years, and actually in consultation with Eric in San Francisco, he's been working in the area of community choice. We started flooding the community choice. So that in the hearings, Greens went, and we presented ourselves as Greens. Community choice was finally passed, so that's good news for us. 2018 is when it will get implemented, and that's a consumer choice for renewable sources providing the energy. PG&E still will get to deliver it to our door. So that was a great success for us. We have quite a few other initiatives. When I'm not making buttons and media, we're actually doing a lot of work on behalf of coalition building. You all are going to hear Gail McLaughlin later speak on from Richmond Progressive Alliance. I was elected co-coordinator of our version of Progressive Alliance called South Bay Progressive Alliance. Our launch is scheduled for September, and we're pretty excited. We're forming coalition with about 45 different local progressive organizations. The primary goal for this organization is going to be electing corporate-free progressive candidates, pushing policy, and creating institutions that are actually create a society with democratic, equitable, and sustainable values. So we are hoping as Greens to use that organization as help on an electoral side so that we can present Green candidates and have other progressives support us. So I think I'm over time. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, all right, I got lots to tell you. All right, so the other things, so that's creating those coalitions has been amazing for us. The other thing, of course, is our constant tabling and being present. When we endorse things, we write letters, we send opinions and stances from Green Party to our city council to other organizations. It really shows us up, us Greens, having a voice and standing by our values. And these buttons are not just ornamental, as beautiful as they look, but they're also a statement. So when you wear a button or you are wearing your t-shirt, people are approaching us and asking us about it. So that's one thing that I always encourage people to do. And this is a beautiful sea of green already, so thank you.
Okay, 2 quick things. Thank you. So we have food now. If you've already eaten, please hold back and let people who haven't eaten go and get some so that nobody starves and we don't have a big old hangry fest. Also, people coming up here, there's a little tangle of wires right here, so please make sure you don't trip on that. We don't want any accidents today. Carry on. Thank you. Eric? Yeah. Timekeeper's over here. Keep an eye over here when you're speaking. Thank you.
Hi, this is Beth Moore from Nevada County. I haven't eaten yet, so as soon as I'm done talking, I'm going to be in the front that night. Okay. Anyway, I want to talk about a few things that we're doing in Nevada County. One of the really big deals that came up in the last few months, we still have our original bylaws from 1990. We've been active for a long time, and then we went out of active for a while. There's been a wonderful recent resurgence, as many of you have been experiencing. And one of the things that has come up is looking at what is the difference between being a political party and being an activist group. And there are people who just want to come there and talk about the next action and the next thing they're doing in the street and save this, and which is all critical and important. But we also have to say, yeah, but we're a political party. We have to do FPPC reporting. We have to maintain a bank account. We have legal requirements of us that are not required of activist groups. So how do we happily blend those things? So one of the things that we've been doing is really inviting in affinity groups to report. We take breaks in the middle of meetings where we eat fabulous snacks that various of us bring, and we write postcards or letters or press releases on particular issues. We invite local green businesses as speakers to come talk about what they're doing in a green way in the community, and so that gets their name out and helps promote good green business that's happening around our area. We start our meetings at 6 o'clock for newcomers, and then that lets other people set up for the regular meeting that starts at 6:30. It makes a soft start so that any newcomers can come in at the beginning, ask questions, hear about consensus, hear about how things work while the rest of the meeting gets set up. And I'm telling you, snacks is a big deal. We have liaisons who go to other actions and coordinating events and help make sure our name ends up on the flyer of those groups that are organizing an action. And we have folks doing tabling, we have folks doing all kinds of activist events, linking it back to us. One of our big deals, many of you know Ben Emery. He and I have worked together over the years. He's done a fabulous job going in and talking to our advanced classes, our advanced placement classes in our high school system. I'm a high school teacher in our local district. We do this with other classes as well. I've gone in off and on for many years to our political classes, our social science classes, and talked about political parties, Greens, what are we doing, and that brings in a lot of our younger Greens. Also, hopefully you know, you get a free building to meet in once a month, so if you're a political party, that's a big difference. So talk to your local county about what building they're going to make sure you get to use for your meetings. Thanks very much.
I think you guys mentioned that one time.
Hello, my name is Fernando Serrano. I'm from Tulare County. First of all, thank you very much for having us here. It's a pleasure to be here. So what we're doing in Tulare County right now is we're focusing on building the party at the local level. Of course, first of all, we have to grow our membership. That's a challenge that I think a lot of the chapters are facing. But one of the strategies that we're using is we're reaching out to people who are already active in the community, who share our values, but many times are not part of our party yet, even though they share most of the values and they're already working towards it. So we're working really hard to recruit them, and I think we're having some success in that area. In particular, we're focusing on people who may be thinking of running for local office that we can support. And so our focus above all is on the local level elections, city councils, school boards, etc. And start getting people elected at those offices in towns and cities throughout Tulare County. I think it's not too ambitious, but our goal is simply to get somebody elected somewhere in any of the communities. It can be unincorporated communities, it can be a small town, small city, because we have a lot of small cities in Tulare County. But whatever it is, at least get one person elected within the next year. Thank you.
Good goal. Yeah, you gotta have that goal. Yeah.
Ann Benasci from San Diego. And we have a lot of energy coming out of the Jill Stein campaign with new members and lots of ambitious projects. Two main ones that have taken up a huge amount of energy. One is there's a housing crisis in San Diego, as there is in many places, and we have lots of people who are homeless, and nobody can afford the rents, people are doubling up. We initiated getting a coalition going called the San Diego Housing Emergency Alliance, HEMA, rhymes with FEMA, and we're moving forward on that project with a lot of community allies. In addition, we had Gail McLaughlin here in San Diego a few months ago to tell us how to start a progressive alliance, and we are now moving forward on that project. We've had, I think, 3 successful meetings with maybe 25 people each, representing progressive Democrats and DSA and other community organizations. We're just getting our platform together and our principles together to make sure we're corporate free, and then we can start running candidates that are not beholden to big money. So that's what's been keeping us busy. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Ike Heinz. I'm from Mendocino County. We were one of the counties starting really early in 1990. We collapsed. We started again. We collapsed again. And then we started the third time and we collapsed again because our main leader had a newspaper and was really active. He died. So thanks to Eric and Matt from Butte and Humboldt County to come on over to Mendocino County and says, hey, you sleepy guys, what's up? We gotta have a GA, we want you to come over. We were looking around, oh my God, 5 people in the room. So, 2 more coming, great. So we have to start from the beginning, and I think what happened is we used to have so many more Greens active who re-registered Democrat because of Bernie Sanders. And they're now, who knows, lost or forgotten or waiting for Godot to wake up. We got to go out there. We have to organize. And it's so much pleasure to see you guys here. And I'm so blessed. And thank you very much. And God bless you too.
Hello again, Eric Frame, Sacramento County. One of the main things we've been doing is going to city councils and board of supervisor meetings and advocating for the homeless, advocating for rent control. Sacramento has a inhumane and frankly unconstitutional no camping ordinance up and running. And we are going every Tuesday to City Council to remind them that it's inhumane and unconstitutional. What else are we doing? Let's see. A few Greens, including myself, have started a nonprofit called Healthy Helpings, in which we feed the homeless on Wednesday nights. So we go to City Council on Tuesday nights, and then the next night we feed the homeless at City Hall, right outside their window, to show them how to properly help humans, you know. Yes, it's inspired by that. Yes, Healthy Helpings is what it is called. I'll name drop it again. In addition, we've been tabling and marching at multiple events. Earth Day, May Days, New Citizens Day is a monthly thing. The Monsanto protest that was brought up earlier, that was a big deal by Mr. Fago over there. Free the Monsanto 10.
First 10 ever arrested, one ever shut down.
First 10 ever arrested. Usually they let us shut it down. This time they arrested us. Some of us, every so often, we sit in Senator Pan's office, for instance, or other representatives' office, and we sit in there and we inform them about how to support a bill such as SB 562 or bills like AB 14. These are good bills. What else? And we have people running for office, like myself. State Senate. We got Lawrence Murray over there in the corner. He's running for Assembly District 8. 8. Yeah, Assembly District 8 for Lawrence. We got a school board runner too as well. He's not here right now. His name's Braden Murphy. He's running for Folsom School Board. All right, I think that can do it. Yeah. So we're doing a lot. We'll keep working on it. Thank you.
Meg Buckingham, Fresno County. I'm a relatively new Green. My first GA was last year in San Francisco. Nothing specifically going on. We're small, but we're growing. We are looking to strengthen ties with other Central Valley locals like Kern and Tulare. and anyone else in the Central Valley. I think that strengthening our groups together puts us in a really good position to advocate for farm laborers. And I have zero organizing experience, so Central Valley, talk to me if you want to do something like that. Let's do it. I think that's it. Thank you.
Hello, it's Miguel Zuniga from CD 43 against Maxine Waters, conventional race. I'm also one of the organizers, along with Liz Solis, Cesar Go, and Martin over here for South Bay Los Angeles Greens. We just got started. We had our first event. We did a beach cleanup, which was an open invite. We're trying to keep it green exclusive. We want to invite everybody to come to these events because we can't afford to close doors on anybody. You know, we need votes, and even if they don't want to go green, it's okay. As long as they vote green, eventually they'll come. But we had the event, and we had a lot of Democratic reformers show up, and they spoke really highly about it. Everybody was happy. We had nothing but green. Sort of Lomida's backyard, Martin's backyard. He bought fresh made juices, and it was a beautiful thing. And please follow us on Facebook, South Bay Los Angeles Greens. Also, before this, we started this organization. I also was able to get Our Revolution to endorse Los Angeles Greens, which is Kenneth Mejia's page. But that way, community unity events. So that way, you know, we unite the communities and we get together and we all, you know, represent. The other thing, part of the South Bay format is we're looking for community reps, community representatives from every city in the South Bay. We're hoping to get 1 to 4 in each one, and then South Bay, Los Angeles will be the hub. We'll all meet up and we'll find out what's going on in each individual city, and if there's an action to be taken, we vote on it, we go, and we all go together as a unity in that one action, because we'll look like a bigger unit. You know, because we don't have that many units scattered around, so if we put all the units together everywhere we go, it's going to start looking really green out there. So please adapt it. You know, I'm not sharing this off. I'm sharing this. I want everybody to get the ideas and start developing a way that we got to make some noise. You know, like this is it. You know, the Democrats are drowning, the Republicans are lousy, and we're the party that everybody's depending to really vote. So let's get together, let's work together. I love you guys, and you know, we're fueled off of love because money ain't our strength. Thank you.
Hello again, Martin, South Bay. Miguel kind of took some of my wind, but the beach cleanup was a really positive thing. Personally, when I first looked out at the beach, it was just filthy. But after 15 big giant trash bags on the first sweep, it was such a fulfillment of immediate gratification of seeing our hard work. And people were really interested, maybe a little hesitant to talk. But it was our first event together, so we can refine it. And I also volunteered for my local Lomita community help program they offer for parks, recreation, trying to introduce a garden. As you said, we garden in our backyard. We've got 8,000 square feet of dirt behind me, and so we grow all kinds of vegetables. We provided a vegan lasagna for the potluck we had. My daughter started making juices to get me off soda and other bad things, which helped tremendously. So, but really canvassing the community and creating the awareness that the Green Party exists. If it wasn't for me running to Miguel, I would have been still in my room, just frustrated. So I'm excited and ready to do some work.
Hello, I'm Phoebe Sorgan, and this is Michael Rubin, and we are Alameda County councilors. We got the Emeryville mayor to re-register as a green. We do tabling sometimes. One of our biggest tasks is the Green Voter Guide that comes out before every election. It's fabulous. I know some other counties use our guide for our statewide recommendations and national recommendations. And we distribute, I think about 15,000 of those. And so it's also a big fundraising thing. About 35 people, I believe, are involved in writing the various articles and that and researching. We also have Green Sundays once a month from 5 to 7 p.m., followed by our county council meetings in the same location at our local Marxist library. And the public who comes to our Green Sunday programs is invited to stay for the county council meetings, and there usually are a few who stayed and get further involved. After the November election, we had a surge in attendance, and we had some Green Sundays with breakout organizing group meetings, and we've decided now to try keeping our Green Sundays focused on a specific issue with a speaker or a panel discussion followed by general discussion, and then have the breakout groups at the beginning of our county council meetings. So our Green Sundays recently have been on public banking and public education versus charter schools, especially what's happened in Oakland is a glaring example. And then public banking, of course, is wonderful. And then next time it's going to be on single-payer health care, universal health care. Yeah. And then the breakout groups are, we're going to try for now having 5 of them. One of them will be ongoing discussion on the topic of the day at the beginning of our county council meeting, and that's going to segue into newcomer orientation to the Green Party. And then there's going to be an operations breakout group about fundraising and general business. There's going to be an elections breakout group. And do you remember what the other 2 are, Michael?
No, I do.
Media. Oh, yes. Tech and outreach. That's it. All right.
Well, I'll just add a couple of things. In addition to the county organization in Alameda County, we have a Oakland group that meets once a month and is busy doing things. We started a movie showing once a month, and we have a location, a free location where we can do events and movies and stuff. One of the members of the Oakland Greens owns a store, a game store, and we will be using that location for our events as Oakland Greens. The other thing I wanted to mention is the Oakland Justice Coalition, which is the version of the Progressive Alliance concept that exists in Oakland. The Green Party is a paid-up member of this coalition, and I represent the Green Party on the Oakland Justice Coalition Steering Committee. And that has been a very active group. And the last thing I'll say is a word about the South County group. Another new group that we have, which is indicative of the growth that we've experienced, is we now have a South County group. Basically, Alameda County heretofore has been dominated by Oakland and Berkeley. Now we have a group of people who have started to meet in South County: Fremont, Hayward, San Leandro, Union City, and those towns south of Oakland. And so things are progressing, and I'll just say one last thing, and that is, in our area, I think that the Dem exit has barely been touched, and we hope to have many more people come to us. Dem exit is a very real phenomenon in our area, and we think that there's many more people that can be won to the Green Party.
How's it going? My name is Reed Heisley-Shellaby, and I'm from the LA County Greens. Just to let you guys know, in LA County we're kind of in a bunch of different groups, so I'm on the west side, which is like Santa Monica, Venice Beach, Mar Vista, Culver City, so that kind of area. But there's also representatives from all these different areas. We're all different people who are energized, and like a lot of us joined the Green Party or were part of it when Kenneth Mejia's campaign was going on, and so we just like, you know. yeah, we decided, you know, we needed to go somewhere with this momentum. So we went back into the communities that we live in and we started, you know, building our own grassroots things. So the West Side Greens, which I'm here to represent, we've been involved in the SB 562 struggle. So I've been organizing canvassing things. I think that's like one of the best things that can be done right now is targeted canvassing. Like look at the timeline for the bill. Soon enough in the Health Committee in the Assembly, they will vote on whether or not to pass the bill forward. And so there's actually, you know, various assembly people that you can go to and canvass their community or try to get a legislative visit to move the bill forward. So I highly recommend that you get involved with a group like the Healthy California campaign or Healthcare for All California, and let people know that you're a green, that you're on the front lines of the struggle for single-payer healthcare. And another campaign that we're doing is Off Fossil Fuels. I'm volunteering with Food and Water Watch, which is this great environmentalist organization. They're not sold out to like big corporations, like a lot of these sort of big green groups. They're fighting to end fossil fuels. So today they actually had a town hall on the West Side with the LA City Council member Mike Bonin to try and get to shut down a gas storage facility on the West Side and to get them to try and move forward on that as soon as possible. And next thing, maybe getting LA DWP to move off of fossil fuels and gas power plants and move to 100% renewables. So these are some of our, yep. So that's what we're hoping.
Okay.
Hi everyone, how's it going? My name's Angel with San Fernando Valley Greens in LA County. And San Fernando Valley has almost 2 million people. And previously, San Fernando Valley was known as a Republican stronghold. It became Democrat, and over time, it had reforms here and there. You know, the usual tale trying to change the party, the Democratic Party, which we know is not going to work. And right now, the people are really ready for a different vision to grow independent politics in our local communities. So we're really, as San Fernando Valley Greens, we're really dead set on giving that message that the only way forward is to basically divorce your relationship with the Democratic Party. People know the Democratic Party isn't going to help anyone's lives. We're forming coalitions throughout the San Fernando Valley with anarchist groups, communist groups, socialist groups. We're different community groups. 2 minutes. The thing is, we're really hopeful that throughout this whole year that all over California that we can work together to, you know, drive that message. I also want to say that in the San Fernando Valley, we're building coalitions, like I said before. We have the LA Tenants Union. We're building coalitions for the unions. We're anti-capitalist. We're dead set on, we're also very serious on overthrowing capitalism. We're growing green groups in colleges and universities. We're building a base. It's growing very well. And yeah, that's it. Sorry, we just drove here all night, so yeah. But thank you guys so much, and hopefully I can get to know everyone here before you guys leave. And hopefully we can work together and make sure that we have a common rhetoric across the state and really drive that home that the Democratic Party isn't going to be the place where people can really have any hope. So yeah, thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Fernando Ramirez. I'm a member and organizer with the Eastside Greens. We're also the group that Reed and Comrade Angel, we're also part of this big collective from LA County. And just like Brother Reed said, the history of all these groups came about after the California primary. We were all, heavily involved in the Bernie Sanders campaign. We were all organizers. The Eastside Greens primarily represents the communities of East LA, Boyle Heights, all of the east side of LA, including some of the communities that are bordered to the east side, like Monterey Park, Alhambra, and Montebello, and as well as communities in southeast LA. And a lot of these communities, pretty much, they're working class, immigrant, primarily Latino, and so we're basically trying to build roots in the community, get the community involved in the struggles, have the community take ownership of those struggles, and at the same time, show the community that the Green Party is there to help them to fight against the raids. For example, these communities are in the front lines against the battle against Trump. We've had a lot of raids, immigration raids, so we're actively involved in that, in immigrant rights, trying to stop the raids. Also, we're actively fighting against gentrification and displacement. In LA, that's a big issue. We have a big housing crisis. We have one of the biggest, we have the biggest homeless population of all the entire nation. And so it's getting worse. The wages are not keeping up with the rent increases and displacement, so we're fighting against that. We're part of the LA tenants unions. We're building coalitions, like Angel said. So we're also trying to, going to use the LA tenants unions, to try to go into the community to try to build emergency response networks against the raids. And also, we build coalitions, a lot of coalitions around May 1st, around SB 562. Right now, we're working together. There's like, it's gonna, 562, we're in it to win it. It's gonna benefit everybody. There's 50,000 street vendors in LA County, that's gonna benefit. There's 100,000 truckers that keep the ports going in LA that are classified as independent contractors, that keep the ports going in LA and Long Beach, so those are the plans. And at the same time, we're recruiting people, young folks, and so we're building the Green Party in the Chicano community. And the goal is to build the left, build the socialist movement, and at the same time defeat the right.
Hi, I'm Jim Smith with Humboldt. We've been working really hard at getting our members more active. As a result, one of our members, Matt, was able to show us how to create and redo a website that includes a mechanism for donations right there on the web, which was fantastic. Eric led a contingent of our members up here to Sacramento during the Democratic Convention, was able to lobby and influence those delegates to get them to vote in our best interests without really realizing it, of course. We also have a newly elected Eureka City councilman who has now re-registered to the Green Party, which is phenomenal. And lastly, David Cobb was really fantastic in developing a coalition between Greens and organized labor. The Central Labor Council and the Greens now sit on a candidate search and an influence, so that we're trying to meld together the green values and the numbers of the labor unions, and hopefully give us access to those members so that we can build our numbers tremendously. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name's Carol Bolden. I'm from San Bernardino County, and we've been doing a number of things since we last met. We've been working actively on SB 562. In fact, we came up here to Sacramento with the nurses on the bus with the nurses, a couple of us, and we also been out at market night, and we had an herbivore festival where we were tabling and spreading the green message, as well as about SB 562. And we've been connecting with DSA, Sierra Club, and so on. In fact, one of our members was just up here lobbying with Sierra Club as well, here in Sacramento. And we did a teach-in on women's rights and how women are still second-class citizens in this country, because we have to ratify the Equal Rights Amendment at long last. We finally got Nevada to ratify it, so we've got 2 more states. We did that at the University of Redlands. We helped defeat, along with a lot of other people, radio tower they're trying to build up in Wildwood State Canyon Park. and we participated in the Climate March, the Science March, the May Day March, and we came up with our county logo. We got cards and t-shirts. This is our county logo of our arrowhead, which is, you know, significant in our area. So anyway, thank you very much.
Great looking t-shirt. My name is Barry Hermanson. I'm from San Francisco. I am a candidate opposite Nancy Pelosi for Congress. It is my goal to finish in the top 2 in the June primary next year. I narrowly lost last June in doing it. And this time, instead of working 5 months very, very hard, where I doubled my vote count from 2014, I'm working 1.5 years because I want to double and triple my vote count. So I'm all about trying to develop materials that not only I can use in my campaign, but that you can use around the state. We recently, the San Francisco Green Party came out with a new card that talks just about the Green Party. There are about 14 things that are listed on here that we believe in. On the back side, there are the 10 key values, and then some information about the San Francisco Green Party, when we meet, where we meet, and how you get in touch with us. And all the cards that I work on has the ability then to be able to change the information, the local information, even my candidate stuff. It has ability through a graphics program just to be able to take off my candidate stuff and easily replace it with contact info for your local party. So these are very inexpensive to produce. 5,000 of these cards cost $150 at the printer Union Shop that I use in San Francisco. It's very important, I believe, on all of our materials to have a union bug on it because it shows solidarity with working people. If you don't have it, people, particularly union folks, they can make an assumption that you do not stand with working folks. So anyway, there's a whole stack of them. They're on this card table right over here by the Love Revolution sign. Please pick one up and take it along. This will also be available through Clearinghouse. It's going to be up on the web, and then if you want us to modify it, we will do that for you. There's also another card just regarding specific issues. Military spending, again, there's a big stack of them over there. And I have a healthcare card that I'm using in my campaign, and you are very welcome to come and ask me for one. I've got a big supply of them. I'll also be giving a little talk tomorrow about growing the party by running campaigns. And specifically, I'm so glad to hear that Greens up and down the state are working on SB 562. And as we know, the legislation will require the vote of every single Democrat in Sacramento in order for it to pass and have the governor's signature.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'll do it.
I personally don't believe that's going to happen. I'm still working on it. We need to be identifying voters because this is going to be on the ballot. If it passes in Sacramento, the drug companies, insurance companies will put it on the ballot and we'll be fighting a really bad initiative.
Unjust eviction.
Let's do what we did in the early 90s and register Greens, but ID voters for single payer. I think that we can grow as a party, and I'll talk more about that tomorrow. Thanks very much.
Laura Wells from Alameda County. And what I'd like to do is give you an overall about the active counties in California. And that is that altogether California has 58 counties. A year ago, we had 21 active counties. Now, we have 33 active counties. And the most recent one was Mendocino, so. And someone was asking how many counties are represented here of those 33 active counties.
Here. We also, along with other Greens groups, East Side Greens, San Fernando Valley, West Side, Orange County, a number of different Greens groups, we joined the Immigration March this year, Pride marches, no DAPL. We're at the airport, no Bad No Wall. We did the May Day workers and stop deportations marches with Green Party banners. And what happened was, especially at the May Day one, we had people come up and they took a lot of pictures of us with our Green Party banners. So it was really good to see that people were interested and we were represented. So we're getting out there and getting known to be at these marches. Also, one thing that I thought was unique that Kenneth has started was having LA Greens group meetings every 2 months to keep us all up to date. So this is an invitation to different groups within LA County that we meet together, we update each other, we exchange ideas, and we can encourage support. So I think it's really helpful. So in other counties, maybe you want to bring different groups together every few months and keep things going. Also, I do believe that led directly to us having this great road trip and having 25 Greens. We have all the different Greens groups here. So that was a really big contributor to that. Absolutely. Also, our next steps are things like tabling at local events, as well as colleges and farmers markets on a regular basis. And this is to encourage voter registration as Greens, as well as it will be a base for upcoming campaigns. So we're now talking with voters, people who are potential voters, ahead of campaigns. They're getting to see us, to know us, to get to know about us, they can join our meetings, etc. So it's not just about a campaign, but preparing the base for those campaigns. So we're familiar in the communities. And also, one last thing I want to do is to give a shout out to Daniel Mata for this great green t-shirt to name him Sing
Hello, Frank Lambert from the Monterey Greens. Well, it's been an inspiration this afternoon listening to everybody, what they're doing in their counties. In Monterey County, we've been active in so many issues for so many years, and a lot of different groups, mainly Democrats, because there are more of them, ask for our support. Candidates running for office ask for our support. We have a meeting with the county council, and we decide a yes or no vote, and then we throw them a few bucks, whatever. We've been successful in so many issues down there in the county. We fought alongside the other progressives against the fracking that the oil companies took to court. An overwhelming majority of Monterey County voters voted against fracking, okay? And the oil companies and the gas companies took us to court. So that's in limbo right now. Money talks. We've been with Safe Strawberries against pesticides, organic farming we support, against the slant well drilling. There's big water issues down in Monterey County, a lot of water shortages. Cal-Am, California American Water Company, big rate gouger. And the people on the peninsula have been fighting. We have George Riley, one of the founding members of the Green Party of Monterey County, has been the #1 man on public water now for public ownership of the water. And that's an uphill battle, taking on Cal-Am, a big billion-dollar company. But we're working on that. We're against the CEMEX. It's a cement company that have been eroding the soil on the coastline there in the south part of Monterey Bay. They've got people from the, okay, a minute left. Anyway, we're with the Rapid Response Network and the Indivisible Organization, you know, and we're against the ICE raids and all the other stuff, against the honest working people to give us our food that we eat. We put programs on every month, pass the basket around, make a collection. We help pay for the rent on the Peace Center where we do our programs, we show films, And our biggest fundraiser is in December when we have a Winterfest. It's a potluck, and we bring stuff in to auction off, and we bid against each other. It brings over $1,000. Wow. 25 people. Now, special thanks to Mr. Michael Rubin, the attorney that fought hard, even though we lost against the top two. Thanks, Mike.
Hi, I'm Ajay Rai. I'm the co-coordinator of Los Angeles County. I know since Los Angeles County is so huge, we have a lot of groups all over the place because of the distance and because of the time due to traffic. As you guys already heard at this point, the South Bay, the Central, the East, the West Side, and all the different groups and all their different activities they do. At the county level, we
AJ, can you get closer to the mic?
At the county level, we try and do something which is more the whole county, which things like endorsing of city ordinances or endorsing or not endorsing city ordinances, measures, things like that, or even candidates. Some of the candidates who we endorse or we don't endorse. But there's one thing which I just wanted to mention. That's why I came up here, because you guys now know all the different things which Los Angeles County has been doing. Is we also do candidate recruitment. So if we hear about somebody who's green, who has expressed an opinion of they want to run for some kind of an office, and in Los Angeles County we do have the neighborhood councils, we have the city councils, and all the different local offices. So we do candidate recruitment and talk to them, trying to see that they get a pretty viable campaign going for the whatever office they're running for. So that's one of the things which wasn't mentioned, so I thought I should come up and mention it. Thank you.
Hello everyone again. My name is Lorraine and I'm from Riverside County. I'm here with another delegate and also county council member, and that's Bobby Halili. Bobby, raise your hand. We had Karina Sarate also as someone that would be part of our delegation, but she couldn't make it today. But we also want to give a shout out to San Bernardino County for helping us also to organize. I know it's been hard going from 7 members back to 5, sometimes 4, but we've managed to just keep our county councils going, our meetings going. We had our last council meeting last month. We're going to have one, this month, and we're going to be holding another one next month. But a lot of us, we are involved in many different causes, and we did start Coachella Valley Immigrant Dignity Coalition, and that's in the east side of the valley. Thank you, yes. I'm very happy to be working with some amazing people. I know some of them have sat down with us and they say they're Democrats, but I'm usually the one at the table saying I'm a Green Party member, and if anyone would consider, please join the Green Party. But that's my representation in that space, although together we're working to have sanctuary cities on the east side of the valley. What else? There's a lot of, as you know, the desert is the front lines, or I think maybe there's other areas too that feel that way. The front lines of the water wars, they call them. We have a lot of water being diverted from the desert. We have people that are making billions of dollars to pump like 60 billion gallons of water from ancient aquifers in the desert. That is underneath the Joshua Tree National Park, by the way, which parts of Joshua Tree National Park will eventually go dry. So you'll be only able to enjoy some of that national park area for maybe the next 10, 20 years. Anyways, don't want to bog you down with those sad stories. But anyways, so again, we are going to continue with our county council meetings, doing fundraising, and thanks for listening, everyone.
Hi, I'm Walter Edlin. I'm from Yolo County.
And I'm Connor. I'm also from Yolo County.
We're relatively new, so there's only like a couple of things that we've done, but I figured we'd take a moment to talk about some of them. There was the California Democratic Convention was in SAC recently? Yeah. We and a group of other Greens helped crash it. We took our awesome new banner and dropped it right behind Tom Perez's head for everyone in the convention to see. Sadie, awesome person that she was waiting outside for all the Dem Exiters that were coming out of that. We've done some minor stuff. We had a booth at Florida Festival, which is a yearly festival that's been going on in the city of Davis since 1969, I think. Unsurprisingly. We had some success getting people to potentially register for the Greens there. And we have been in contact with the mayor of Davis, who is registered as Green. And we're hoping to establish more concrete ties with local representatives in order to push a Green agenda at the local level.
So, that's loud. A couple other things. We've also started to coalition build with various progressive and leftist groups around Yolo County, starting in Davis because a lot of us are from Davis, but hopefully expanding to other parts of Yolo County too. And also a few of us went to the Yolo County Board of Supervisors meeting to encourage them to pass a resolution that basically demands UC Davis build more affordable housing for its students.
I think one more thing. We managed to stop the Yolo County Sheriff's Office from getting another MRAP. So an MRAP, all this...
Stands for Mine Resistant Ambush Protected Vehicle.
Yeah, so
they wanted one of these things.
Yeah, so those vehicles that they were using, the sheriff's, the county sheriff's office were using at Standing Rock. Those are what we're talking about. Those military vehicles. We stopped the local sheriff's office from getting one.
Hello everyone, I'm Mike Gonzalez from the Santa Clara County Greens. I'm lucky enough to be in the same county where with Nassim, a very good organizer, and she complements all of our actions with really good banners and really good buttons, just like she did this event. So we have a lot of cool things going on. Robert and Cheryl here do the documentary movie night once a month. We have a book club that is talks about a bunch of progressive books. I think The Economist for Activists, and we get our word out quite a bit by tabling, doing rallies ourselves, or doing joining marches and rallies in our community that other people have. So we co-sponsor a lot, we table at those rallies as often as we can. But some of the campaigns we're involved in is the Dakota Access Pipeline. We have 5 members actually go to Standing Rock, and some of them have come back and organized. We have 2 cities we're targeting right now, Palo Alto and Sunnyvale, where we go to the city councils. We've gotten the issues agendized, and so we are actually able to argue them. We have a standing anti-war protest. David Ledesma, who lost a brother in Vietnam, is out there every weekend for the past 14 years. He's been out there. He's a Green Party member, and he stands on a busy corner in Santa Clara every weekend. We have Joan Simon doing single payer. She's very involved in single payer. Sandy Perry is involved in unjust evictions, and California has one of the strongest
Ordinances.
ordinances for, not evicting people without cause, just cause, essentially. We also target young people and colleges. Our youngest member is actually, I believe, 16. I think
14.
14. Oh my gosh. He's a freshman. That must make him a freshman. One thing I'm really proud of is our YouTube page. We're filming this, and what we do is we record a lot of these actions that we do. Many people in this room were at the lobby day at right here in Sacramento. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This was for single payer. Yes.
Well, that too.
SB 562. And so what we do, what I do is I try to put people's names inside the tags so that you have a history on YouTube. If you want to run for office in the future, even if you're not doing it now, people can look up and see the actions that you've taken. So everybody that I'm recording here today, I'll put tags on your names so that you can recall your name on YouTube and help you with your future campaigns. Thank you, guys.
Hi, Susan Lamont from Sonoma County. I've got too much stuff in my hands. I do want to show you all these great things. We are part of an ongoing progressive coalition that organizes events. The most recent one was the All People's March. Most places it was a climate march. We combined the concept with May Day, and so we organized that. We're involved in a lot of tabling. We have been on local radio representing the Green Party. We it was the 30th anniversary of Gay Pride in Guerneville 2 weeks ago. So we were in their march, but at the same time they were holding their first truly political rally, and they needed an anti-war speaker. So since one of the organizers, Steve Zollman, is Green, he then asked me to speak because I'm Green, so we could represent the Green Party as anti-war, and that was really good. We're involved in anti-police brutality work. We have a friend whose son was killed by local police with a taser just a month ago, and so we're working on that. We go to city councils, we go to the board of supervisors. We're working on recalling the sheriff of our county. We also worked on Measure C, which was a rent control just cause measure, and it lost. The opposition spent more money than has ever been spent on a campaign in Sonoma County history. And so they won, we lost, but we got involved in that. This is what we do now. Whenever there's an election, we find something we want the Greens in our county to know about, and we send out a postcard. So we sent out this one, which was to vote for C. We've had others in the past vote Green. In the back, you'll find Green Party Seeds of Sedition and Revolution. So there's seeds back there for you if you want them. We also have a sign we pass out to businesses, and they put them in their windows, and at the very bottom it says it's Green Party. We have a petition, it won't happen here, which is about infringing on our civil liberties coming from the Trump administration, and we just got our first supervisor on our board of supervisors to endorse that. We're trying to get the county to endorse that. I think that's it. Oh, and doing the Measure C, we got the local labor council, which is totally entwined with the Democratic Party, to actually give us a lot of publicity. So that was good.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Don Yost. I'm from Shasta County, which is one of the most conservative counties in California. We have had a county council and an active Green Party for the last 20 years, and we have been in coalition with a lot of other groups, as well as having Barry Hermanson coming up a couple of times to speak about disarmament, also about single payer. This last election, we took all of the people that voted green on the voting polls, all 270 of them from Shasta County, and contacted them about a meeting on coalition politics. And we had Gil McLaughlin and Juan Reardon come up. And in addition, with our other coalitions with other progressive groups, we have an online progressive calendar. And one really exciting thing that happened was that a year ago, in coalition with other groups, we had within a week of the massacre in Orlando, a meeting of over 600 people at our Sundial Bridge to memorialize those people that we lost in Orlando. And so that's Shasta County.
Randy Hicks, Sacramento County. I know Vego probably did a great job, and Eric probably did a great job too. Just one more thing. What's happening here in the state of California and everywhere, and in Sacramento County, what they're trying to do is they're trying to take blue curb parking away. And the Green Party of Sacramento has now realized this. And when they're trying to take blue curb parking away is so they can charge disabled people with disabled placards money to be there, and to put it all on time limits so they can pay for our new $548 million arena called the Golden One Center. And so now they got it paid for, now they got it built, now they got it paid for it. And this is one of the ways they're going to do. And the second way they're going to do it is not allow people to be able to have their day in court. There are vices laid against, but they are not us in Sacramento County. We actually sue for a purpose and a cause, but they're trying to introduce legislation in the state, got it? Tried to introduce legislation in the state, which was 150, AB 150, Mathis. Now they've done it federally, HR 620. HR 620 would take away everybody's right to sue for access and would extend the time that you're not accessible for 1 year, and they'll give you a sticker on the door and say you're accessible, even though you're not. And the second thing it does, if the plaintiff loses in court, they'll have to pay the defense's damages, plus any profits that the business loses. This is what that's not green value, and that's not good for the disabled people. For people with disabilities, persons with disabilities, like myself, who may someday be in a wheelchair and want to be able to get into the door, businesses have to help us, and we have to help them. So as a member of the Sacramento County Green Party, and being in the Capitol, we're going to fight for those who are disabled. I just wish the Disability Caucus was here.
Vego, Sacramento County Green Party. One thing that we have been doing that is, I'm hoping others will take on, is not only do we have an election committee to help deal with our candidates and getting people elected and trying to find potential candidates, we also have an activism coordinator who's tasked with keeping the party involved with activism, while at the same time freeing up other members of our county council to focus more on the electoral side, so that we are able to be in both places and get people. Some of them have even asked us if we wanted to table at their demonstrations. So I think holding both sides of it equally valuable, it's important, because on one end, by being active, not only are you showing that you care about the issues that the people are going through, you're also able to better understand the issues that people are trying to address when they're in the streets. You're also able to increase your visibility to potential Greens or people that might vote for Greens, as well as on the electoral side, now that you have a direct line to the people who are fighting for these issues, you're better able to inform the candidates that you're going to have running about these issues so that when they run and they design their platform, they're better able to address the needs of the people that they're going to be trying to represent. And that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Quentin Crawford. I'm with the Solano County Green Party. We're kind of small, but I have to say I'm not going to be able to tell too much of what we're doing because there's not much at the moment. We're proud of Sacramento. I do have to say that there's some ideas that just came up with a little earlier, and I know I got to leave a little early today. Some ideas came up with about fundraising. I was trying to get across to you a little while ago. There we go. And we have done some, there's a few little activities, Earth Day for Vallejo, Solano Community College, and City of Fairfield. We do a few things going on around the county, but I can't, again, I can't say too much of what's happening. We produced a flyer, or two flyers that distributed out to people in the communities. And I guess as I saw a little bit on the agenda about sharing some information that we have that each of us have produced, I like the idea, the little cards, I forgot who did that. I definitely want to get one of those so we can possibly transform it to use in our area. Made some flyers that are produced for distribution to Fairfield and Solano Community College. I'd give a few copies out, you guys can have them. Maybe a little something you can, someone take some of these? I have plenty more. Okay, thank you. You're going to use that as a template for yourself. The ideas for fundraising that I came up with just a little while ago, the things I've been doing in other organizations, I think can be distributed out to others around. You can use them in the process of yourselves, and use it as a statewide or national possibly as well. I'm sure it's already been done or tried, possibly text to give is one. Text message for funds. Matching gifts is easy to do. We probably could set that up with this little letter, nonprofit letter. Crowdfunding, we all know what crowdfunding is, right? Hope so, okay. Funnily is one resource that could be used for this organization. Someone mentioned about auctioning, I believe, earlier, charity auctioning. Raffling, okay, that's another idea. Write some of this stuff down, you might want to use it in the future. Interactive video fundraising. Suggest you look that up. There's certain ways to do it. Easy to go on YouTube and find out the processes of each one of these things I'm mentioning. Having a political trivia night. That's one idea that some people like, but I showed them earlier. Karaoke is easy, of course. A few more seconds here. And of course, a little slight off idea, golf tournament. On the green.
On the green.
On the green for the green. Something like that. It's just a few ideas. There's others out there. Social media, I want to talk with you sometime in the future. I got some ideas for you too. Work this out. So, I'm done.
Cool, I'm from Butte County. Chico, Paradise, Orville. Eric Rydberg from Butte County. So recently we had a dam almost completely crumble and put 250,000 people displaced. And I really have to commend my other Greens from Butte that aren't here with me for their actions that they took on giving people shelter in Chico and how they helped out, because it was a massive
kind of a debacle. People running north of Chico is just north of Orville, and people just flooding north to try and get away from this gigantic dam that's about to, flood the entire town of Orville. So we have a massive neglect of our infrastructure in the country. All of our roads, schools, bridges, dams, water systems, Flint, Michigan, Navajo, water supply, Eureka, California's got lead in the water. So we need the Green New Deal so bad that we need to figure out how to make it like nonpartisan. Just like SB 562, we need to take that Green New Deal and make it the Green New Deal Act and make it so libertarians and Democrats and we need to start taking it and make it a reality, because it's got to change, But I want to big time commend my folks from Butte. I've been going around, I've been out, and I haven't been home like I would like to be. And while I've been gone, they've been doing a fantastic job. I'd like to say to Julian Martinez, one of the county council members, he owns a green landscaping business where he runs all of his lawn keeping stuff off of a veggie oil diesel truck that charges a battery system that powers all of his uses. Just an amazing person. Aubrey Pickler, his partner, those two have been amazing, and I really, really want to give it up for my other delegate, GA delegate that can't be here, who's Stephen Breedlove. Stephen Breedlove has been in the city councils. He just got appointed to the airport commission. He's an air traffic controller out at the airport. He's an Air Force veteran. He's just been doing everything he can while working so hard and having his daughters to take care of, and that's why he can't be with us because of the Father's Day weekend. So I just want to say, Stephen Breedlove, thank you for all you're doing in Butte County, and I can't wait to see you run for city council next year. Right? So thank you. And then the last thing I'd like to ask, if it would be okay, if you guys think it would be okay. Okay, one more minute. Look at all these counties. Look at these 12 new counties added to the original 21. Look at us, look at what you've done. We've grown huge, right? Would it be okay to ask if we could all get together and take a big picture of this whole room? Is it possible for us to in the next minute get up here and take a big picture next to this great thing? Maybe now's not the time.
We all done, or one more count? So Eric Brooks, somebody time me because I can't time myself. I get at least 3 minutes, but I won't use them all. So I just wanted to get a little deeper on San Francisco because I and some other people in San Francisco have had a lot of experience working on legislation, have done a good job of drilling down on local and state level legislation. Just wanted to touch base on those. In San Francisco, we used to have great laws against using pesticides in natural areas and public parks, and those had eroded very badly. And we and the coalition we work with to fight against those pesticides have managed to get those cut 80% in the most toxic ones like Roundup, 80% over the past couple of years. We have gotten very involved in blocking corporations like Google and Earthlink from taking over San Francisco's internet service as a private monopoly and stopped that from happening about 10 years ago. And now the city government, even some conservatives in city government, have pulled me and some others in that coalition, and Bruce Wolf, who's also a Green from San Francisco, to help get a public broadband internet in San Francisco. If we get it there, we can spread it around California. And then on the clean energy thing, there's something we've been fighting on that. That's the main thing I work on. We've been fighting tooth and nail on that and got it started last year. There's a new development, and that is one of the neoliberal Democrats in San Francisco, Malia Cohen, please remember that name, has attacked the most important local agency, the LAFCO, that helps, without which we would not have Clean Power SF in San Francisco. And she has attacked that agency with a couple of conservatives, and they've cut the staff and the funding. And she is running, Malia Cohen is running for the State Board of Equalization next year. And so be looking for an email that will ask you to just get the word out, to just put massive pressure on her in the next few weeks on her run for office so that she has to change her game and go back to supporting clean energy.